Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of Misty Morning in focus because you know I absolutely love the bergamot, right? And that little bit of zing from the focus. Anyways, today is going to be an Adobe day. And you know, I always have to preface anything having to do with Adobe that there's no love lost between me and Adobe. I'm the one that started the whole trend or movement called Life After Adobe, cutting the cord about a year and a half ago, and thousands and tens of thousands of photographers, videographers, and creatives in general moved from Adobe to other alternatives at the time. And I continue to update this. I will be doing, just to let you know, a 2021 version of that Life After Adobe Cutting the Cord series very soon. So before I get deep into this, I want to say that if you haven't downloaded my ebook as of yet, go check it out over at jchristina.com/ebook. Once again, jchristina.com/ebook. Go check it out. It is free. Free is great, right? There is something there for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're a professional, a pro-am, or just simply an amateur. You'll learn something from it. Once again, jchristina.com/ebook. So today we're going to be getting into that Adobe issue. Now, I was reading about this on a couple forums and I wanted to put it out to you guys just so you know what is going on, because I think that it is very important. So moving into 2021, it'll give you a little bit of a clearer mind when it comes to staying with Adobe or possibly moving into something else. And I'm going to give you some reasons why it might be smart to move on and not continue to pay that licensing fee to them perpetually, forever, right? Ad nauseum, as we say, which is not always a great thing to do, in my personal opinion. That's why I own cars and I don't lease them. I hate paying just forever on something and never owning anything and just keep on paying and paying and paying. And that's what the Adobe model is. Now, let me just start out by saying that Adobe is crushing it as of right now. Their earnings is probably up 700-800% for the last 10 years. You know, they're making a ton of money. And they're making a money on lemmings like you and I that continue to follow them down this path. Now, moving into it, we're going to be talking about Lightroom 6. And something came out in the forums that I thought was very interesting. Lightroom 6, if you don't know, was the very last Lightroom from Adobe that provided a perpetual license. Now, what is that? That's basically you pay a one-time fee for the software and it's licensed to you, to me, forever. Okay? That was the whole idea about it. And that is really not the case. Now, you would know that if you were a subscriber to this channel and have been watching me for a while, right? Because I've told you this many times in the past. But anyways, it is not really the case. This perpetual license is kind of not really perpetual, and the software itself is simply degrading under your nose. Well, the first couple of days of December, one of the guys, or a few of the guys that were using the Lightroom 6 said, you know, I'm finding a problem with this software. And then all of a sudden, that feed just blew up and a ton of people found the exact same problem. And the problem was that they were experiencing crashing whenever using the facial recognition module in Lightroom 6. They would activate it and the software would crash. They would activate it and the software would crash. Now, if you remember back in the day when Adobe was pushing Lightroom 6 for people to move from 5.5 to 6, they just were adamant about saying facial recognition is the bomb. You absolutely need it. You have to have our new HDR merge. You have to have our panorama merge and all these other hot button add-ons, right? And a lot of people did move to upgrade to that latest and greatest Lightroom 6 because of it. Well, now we see one of those items so far is not working correctly. Now, well, this is not the only problem. The rabbit hole kind of goes deeper. So we're not only seeing the facial recognition part of the software not working. But also what we're seeing is that the creating a virtual copy of an image is also not working. Now, if you don't know, or if you haven't used Lightroom in the past, Lightroom is pretty nice by allowing you to create virtual images of a specific image so that you can do testing to it. Maybe change lighting or maybe change coloring or whatever. Or if you have a client that wants, let's say 3, 4, 5 different versions in different light or in different means of edit, you could provide them with those edits and not affect the original. Okay, it allows you to work on these virtual copies. Well, if you create a virtual copy, it also will crash. So people are like, what the heck is going on here? Within a couple of days into December, when this happened, there was another user that came into the Adobe official forum and said, we have a fix. This is what we're going to do to be able to fix it. And the way was to roll back the clock on your computer. So if you took the clock on your computer and rolled it back to pre-December 1st, 2020, the fix was in. You'd be able to use your facial recognition again. And people are like, what the hell is going on here? Why do we have to roll back the clock in our computer and not actually have the right date just to use Adobe Lightroom 6? Well, there was a couple of theories that came out that I think that were really plausible. And after reading something that Adobe released, I would say that it's more than plausible and it's most likely the fact of what's going on. And basically what it is that Adobe rents or leases their facial recognition module. Okay, they license it, okay, from another company, and they stop paying the damn license as of December 1st. So that DLL that's running is probably doing a little phone home, or maybe it's checking the date internal to the computer, the clock. And if it's past December 1st, 2020, any date after that, it will no longer function, hence crashing Adobe Lightroom 6. Now, if you guys remember back like about a year ago or so, something similar happened with Maps, right? Maps internal to Adobe were always kind of cool for people that like GPS and locational stuff and all this stuff. And it just stopped working. That was like the end of it. And people found a workaround by basically downloading the Google license, which Adobe stopped paying for, and downloaded their own personal API key and installing it in their Lightroom 6. This hack workaround thing. Because once again, Adobe stopped paying for their key. Now, that ended up working. But if you think about it, this is just simply a hot mess because you're paying for a piece of software that was supposed to be a perpetual license of that software. You're buying it, a one-time fee, you own it, all right? They should be obligated to keeping it up to date, so to speak. That doesn't mean give you new features like Fujifilm would. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about just keeping it so that it just simply runs. We don't want them to add anything, but I'm sure as a user that purchased it full price at $150 or whatever it was, they want it to run and not crash. I think that's the least that a software company could do, right? Well, I would venture to say, guys, that we're going to see more and more features stop working in Lightroom 6 or any other perpetual, quote unquote, perpetual license software that Adobe has sold in the past. Why do I say that? Well, I was reading that Petapixels reached out to Adobe and said, you know, what the hell is going on, basically. And they responded with these 3 quotes that they put up here, and I think was very interesting and probably telling. I want to know what your thoughts are. Number 1, they said the perpetual license version of Lightroom Classic is unsupported. Okay? It is unsupported. Well, we knew that from the past. We don't want them to, like I said, provide any type of additions to it, but it still should just run. Anyways, they say it's unsupported. They also say that installers, one-on-one technical support, security fixes, and bug fixes are not available for perpetual license versions. Bug fixes, okay? That all sounds good and all, but I want to kind of full circle back to that in a second. They also provided a list of, quote, supported Lightroom Classic versions, and they give a link where you can go and check them out. I'll probably put that link down in the comment area or in the description of this video so you can check it out. But round robining back to the whole bug fixes and security fixes and all this type of thing. I personally believe that if you buy a perpetual piece of software that you're buying a one-time, you're purchasing it, you own it. I think that the manufacturer, the producer, the people that are actually writing the software should be able to not necessarily support it to, like I said, add things, but be able to support it so that it just simply runs. I don't think that this is a, quote, bug fix issue. If they don't want to fix bugs that are in the software from back then and fix them to current day standards, that's fine. But when they stop paying for their APIs, when they stop paying for their licensing, when they stop paying these companies like Google and the other company that does the facial recognition, now all of a sudden you're introducing a, quote, bug that you are basically producing by you not paying your money, your fee, your licensing fee to these companies. And now your software is not working. So this isn't a fix. This is something that they're not doing when they did when you bought the software. I think that how you purchase a piece of software from day one is how it should stay if you are buying a perpetual license for it, right? It shouldn't be made better, but it should also not be made worse by that company. Now, of course, it is in the best interest for Adobe to not support any of their stuff because they want to get you into that CC program where you pay, once again, forever, ad nauseum, in perpetuity, as I always say, and you just constantly fork over that cash. Many people don't want to do that. Some people were buying the full package like we did in the studio, $1,500, $1,700 for a suite, and then we wouldn't upgrade that suite for maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, whatever it is. But it was up to us to figure out what is the best way to go about upgrading or not upgrading. We had the choice. Now there is no longer a choice. You pay continuously, forever. All right. And like I said, a lot of people do not like that at all. So my question to you is, since Adobe sold this software with this perpetual license, would Adobe be now open to, let's say, a worldwide class action lawsuit? Is that a possibility? When users purchase that piece of software and all of the functionality within it that they pushed so hard, right? Like I said, facial recognition, the HDR stuff, the panoramic stuff, when that stuff stops working, and it is not the user's fault, okay? It is the software company's fault, but they don't fix it. Should they be obligated to do so? All right? Or is there a possibility for a worldwide class action lawsuit against Adobe? I know Adobe has a lot of great attorneys out there, all right? Probably hundreds, right? Maybe even 1,000. Who the hell knows? They have billions of dollars that they're making like every quarter or something. Crazy, crazy amounts of money on all, like I said, us lemmings that continue to follow them over the cliff, right? Without asking questions and just keep on paying. So I think it's a good question, and I want to know your answer to that. In the comment area, let's have this discussion. I will probably also put a poll up because I want to know, what do you think? Yes or no? Do you think that they're liable, or do you think that they are not? Can they just basically say, that's it, we're washing our hands of it, you got it, we're not going to support it, we're not doing bug fixes, we're not doing security fixes, but we also have the ability to degrade your software over time. And if you remember, Apple did that, and Apple got sued for it, right? You had a phone that worked perfectly, and then all of a sudden they did this battery nonsense in there. And the battery BS basically slowed down the entire phone to a speed that was not the speed that you bought it at. Now, they came back with an idea that, well, oh, we were doing this so that people had the best experience and all the rest of the nonsense. So I didn't think that flew too well. Let me know. Let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. So, should they possibly be hit with the class action lawsuit? Anyways, I want to know your thoughts. Also, like I said from the very beginning, if you are interested in that Life After Adobe Cutting the Cord series that I did, I tell you guys what you can use in replacement to Lightroom, to Photoshop, to every single program that Adobe is offering, or almost every program. Okay, and I reviewed and went through a ton of them. And I didn't give you necessarily my pick. I kind of told you what I liked and what I was using, but I gave you the background, as we do in this channel, unbiased, of each one of the programs so that you could decide what works best for you. Do you want something that is 100% free? Or do you want something that you pay one time for? And those are the pieces of software that I reviewed. So I'll probably put a link somewhere up here so you can go check it out. If you don't see the link, or if you don't see the link in the comment area or in the description, just simply go over to the channel and look for my playlist and find a playlist that's called Life After Adobe Cutting the Cord. Check it out. There's a lot of videos in there, and I'm sure they'll help you out. Anyways, if you're not a subscriber to the channel as of yet, please subscribe. There's a lot of great content in here. We're getting close to about 450 videos in the last year and a half, 2 years or something. There's a lot of content for you to check out. Also, if you are a subscriber, click the little bell notification button right over here. Once you click that bell, basically, anytime I go live, you'll be notified of it. If we do a premiere, you'll be notified. Whenever I come out with new videos, you'll be notified. So check that out. Also, down below, you'll see a button. That button says join. If you click that, it will give you the ability to give back to the channel. So if you want to contribute to the channel, help me grow the channel here in 2021, click that join button. It's $1, $5, whatever you want to contribute, you can, and that will help the channel out, and I would really appreciate it. And I'll probably swing in maybe some of the people that have already contributed here to give them a little shout out and thank you for doing so. Also, head over to community.jchristina.com. Once again, community.jchristina.com. Over there, we have a creative Discord server that I created for all of us. We hang out there. We talk about anything having to do with shop, right? It could be tech. It could be video. It could be photography, software, whatever. All of the Adobe software, everything is there. A lot of really smart people hang out there. And all of the questions and answers are there forever. They're fully archived and searchable, unlike here on YouTube. So check that out. I think it is absolutely awesome. Also, I'm going to be bringing people in from that creative Discord server here live coming up soon. We're going to be working into that over 2021 because I want to have a lot of you guys that have just amazing, just unbelievable knowledge, more knowledge than I have on some topics on the channel so that we can have these conversations. I think that would be great. Also, if you want to pick up any of my product, head over to jchristina.com where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the years. And hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me. You could use promo code YT20 at checkout. Once again, promo code YT20 at checkout and you'll get 20% off anything that's in your shopping cart. That's not one thing, that's everything. So that's it, guys. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe and stay healthy.